Who is the shooter?
Who shot who?
The gruesome double murder.
Can you come down with me?
Anybody else say blow up? Okay, she's breathing. She's got a lot of stab.
A seemingly stunned au pair walking out of the crime scene.
We're getting the ambulance here now. Okay.
Telling police an intruder had come in with a knife and stabbed the homeowner's wife as her husband tried to save her.
He started stabbing her. I think Brendan shot him, and he asked me help to shot him too because...
It's okay. You don't have to get it all out right now.
I never saw that before. It's a lot of blood.
Okay.
Now, stunning details of a brazen affair and an elaborate murder scheme playing out in a Virginia courtroom as the husband, Brendan Banfield, stands trial for multiple counts of aggravated murder.
While you were working for the Banfield family, did your relationship with the defendant change?
Yes.
How did it change?
It became sexual, physical relationship.
Bombshell testimony from the au pair, Juliana Perez Margulies, who says she helped Banfield kill his wife so that they could be together. The 25-year-old escorted in handcuffs for 2 days of testimony against her former lover.
Did he tell you what he wanted to do?
Yes.
What did he say?
He mentioned his plan to get rid of her.
Margulies took a plea deal for manslaughter charges, becoming the prosecution's star witness.
He got on top of her, and that's when I first saw him stab her with a knife.
Prosecutors say months after the affair began, Banfield, a former investigator at the IRS, started plotting to kill his wife, claiming he didn't want a divorce or shared custody.
According to prosecutors, Banfield pulls Juliana, the family au pair, into this scheme by purchasing a firearm, taking her to a shooting range to practice, also by buying soundproof windows and installing them into the home, as well as this whole scheme of creating a catfish.
Prosecutors say Banfield was posing as his wife on a sexual fetish website to lure a man, Joseph Ryan, to come to the house and fulfill a twisted rape fantasy.
Brendan created a FetLife account. If you're not familiar with it, it's a social networking app for people interested in fetishes, sexual kink. He posted as Christine. Joe was to bring a knife, zip ties, chains. And most importantly, he was not to stop. Even if she looked terrified, even if she was calling for help, he was to follow through because that's what she really wanted.
Once he arrived, Banfield allegedly shot him in the head before stabbing his wife to death.
Where on her body was he stabbing her?
Her neck. A few times I looked, and I was able to see him stabbing her.
On cross-examination, Banfield's defense trying to poke holes in the au pair's credibility.
I mean, with all due respect, you don't remember a lot of details.
Yeah.
And that's what's really concerning about this.
Well, if you were in my shoes, you don't remember either. You know, your brain has a way to, a defense mechanism it's called, okay. And it protects you from losing your mind, losing yourself.
The defense's strategy is to make her look like an unreliable witness in any way. Either that she doesn't know the details of the actual alleged crimes.
I do not recall if it was me or him.
Or that her recollection seems to be all over the place.
Just because I remembered something at the time where we had the interview, it doesn't mean I'm remembering the same things right now.
Suggesting that she's making up the story, not telling a factual story.
The defense questioning her for hours about whether she wrote some of the incriminating messages to lure Joseph Ryan to the house.
Sir, with all due respect here, I said those things are all very familiar words. I might say it's me, or I might say it's Brennan, and if I'm not sure, what am I doing? I'm guessing, and I'm not doing this.
So you're not going to answer my questions about specific pieces of evidence that I'm showing you?
Objection, asked and answered. Objection, argumentative.
I think she says she's not going to do this.
The defense then questioning Margulies about letters she wrote to Banfield's mother from prison before taking the plea deal, professing her love for him and seeming to take accountability for the murders.
I would give my life for his, and I would never do anything to hurt him or against him. Whatever they're saying, whatever they want to believe, I don't care. I would take the blame for both of us.
Then in messages after the plea deal, telling her mother she was in negotiations with Netflix.
So they were thinking about $10,000 helps and it's good, but I want to negotiate. I want more than this because if I sign the contract, I end up losing other opportunities to make more money. We have to think, I know I can make even more than $25,000.
I think your last words were, "We do deserve something." Is
Yes.
that right? You were charged with murder because you shot someone. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
And so why would you deserve something because of that?
Not because of that. I'm saying for after, when this is over, for me and my family. And again, for everything we've been through.
What she'd been through was the story that captured the nation's attention in 2023.
There are no words to describe the horror, the sadness.
Who is the shooter?
Who shot who?
A double murder in an affluent Virginia suburb just 15 miles outside of D.C. And in another twist, the young nanny moving into the primary bedroom where the wife had been killed, living as a couple with Banfield, according to prosecutors.
They had gotten new flooring, new bedroom furniture, and pictures that had once featured Brendan and Christine had been taken down and replaced with Brendan and Juliana together.
Prosecutors also highlighting different blood evidence found on Banfield's items.
What did you observe about these pants?
That they had blood stains on them. There was the blood stains on the knee area. Most of the stains that you saw on the pants were like almost like smears, smudges, like they came in contact with blood. This was droplets. There was staining on the shoes, on the tops, but there's also staining on the bottom and into the treads.
When they look at the droplets found on Brendan's pants, they say that shows he must have been in close proximity to Christine, his wife, when she was brutally stabbed. That doesn't align with his story that Joseph Ryan committed this brutal stabbing and not him. The defense hasn't pointed to a theory as to what the smearing or blood droplets actually mean in this case, and they might not ever, because ultimately it's not the defense's burden to put evidence forward, only to show that the prosecution hasn't made out their case beyond a reasonable doubt.
The prosecution will continue its case next week.
With Virginia having no death penalty, if Brendan Banfield is found guilty, he'd be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
As for Margulies, she'll be sentenced once Banfield's trial ends and could get as little as time served, according to attorneys. We'll, of course, continue to follow this case as the trial continues.